Good morning, everyone. It is 3 months today from the day that I started my attempted thru-hike. Today is day 90 on the AT, and it couldn't have really started out to be a better day. The air is brisk. It's going to be cool all day with a high of 65. It'll be mostly cloudy, partly sunny all day, no humidity. So it's gonna be a perfect day for hiking. Today I've got 22.3 miles to walk to High Point Shelter. It should be relatively consistent walking. I'll be floating at around 1,200 feet, plus or minus 100 feet or so, all day. Should be a day of ups and downs between that elevation, kind of like a mini roller coaster, if you will. We've already started our first climb of the day, and I'm anxious to get this day started. Let's go ahead and start it, shall we? Thanks for joining me. That is how you start a day on the AT. Good morning, Appalachian Trail. Oh, it's gonna be a beautiful day. So today's walk has been very pleasant so far. We're 4 miles in, and I've been moving super quiet today because we've been passing through the area around Brink Road Shelter where the aggressive bear activity had been reported. And I must admit, I was moving super quiet because I was really kind of hoping to see a bear. I did not though. So we're just gonna move about our day as we typically would. We had some terrific views though. We climbed up first thing up on top of a ridge that gave us some really good views to the north of the Delaware River Valley and the Poconos. And it was a great way to start the day. Still very pleasant, and making terrific time because the trail is very forgiving. I'm looking forward to see what else we might find up ahead. Here's a terrific view this morning. We're looking at Culver Lake. It's gonna be a good place for second breakfast. So this is the Culver Fire Tower. We're not able to go up in it to look at any views because it's an active working fire tower. There's a picnic table underneath it, which would be great for lunch. Unfortunately, it's still mid-morning. So we're at the view at the base of the fire tower. And it's quite a view. I bet the view from up top in the tower is amazing. We are on top of an observation tower that is right on the trail, and it overlooks High Point. High Point is the tallest peak in New Jersey. The obelisk that you see at the top is a war memorial for World War I that was built in the 1930s. It serves as a memorial and as an observation tower. Well, everybody, today's walk is going so well, I've decided to push it an extra 5.3 miles. I realized as I was getting close to the High Point shelter that just up the trail, that 5.3 miles, is another shelter referred to as the Secret Shelter. It is a privately owned shelter, not owned by the Appalachian Trail Conservancy or any of the state clubs. And so it is open, however, for thru-hikers. And so it is on private property of a former thru-hiker, and it's 0.2 off the trail. The good news is I still have plenty of daylight. I've got about 4 hours of daylight left, it'll only take me about 2 hours to walk the extra 5.3 miles. And it will also put me 5 miles closer to Vernon, New Jersey, which is going to be my destination tomorrow for my resupply as I prepare to push into New York. And so I consider this a win-win. Gets me closer to my goal. I've got sufficient time. My body feels good. And the trail is smooth enough for me to allow it. The trail has been tough in some portions today. It's been relatively rocky off and on today. I would almost describe them as Pennsylvania style rocks, but it hasn't really slowed me down, just like any other rock path. It just requires that we take our time, watch our footing, proceed with caution. And so everything's moving along well. So onward to the secret shelter. Today, New Jersey has shown us just about every type of terrain. So now, Pastures. So everybody, we are a little bit less than a half a mile away from the Jim Murray shelter, which is also known as the secret shelter, being the one that's on private property. And kind of excited. I've read comments in the Far Out app, and everyone is very positive about how nice it is, and that the caretaker is really great, and that staying there is one of the highlights of their trip. So hopefully it lives up to its reputation. I, for one, am ready for today to be over. I'm still in a great mood. It has been a fantastic day. But yeah, today's terrain, the variance of the terrain and everything, my body's telling me that we're getting close to the end. So glad we're gonna be there. All said and done, it will be 27.7 miles today. That through rocky terrain, numerous elevation changes, climbs and descents, all within about 500 feet of each other, always hovering around that, 1,500-ish mark in terms of feet and elevation. And so after that, we kind of move down into the valley And we've been walking on some really nice flat terrain and through some pastures. And it's been a terrific day. This puts us in great position for tomorrow, where I will have 13.6 miles for a Nero and resupply in Vernon, New Jersey. That'll be my last stop in New Jersey because the day after tomorrow, I will push into New York. It's been nice this time I've spent in New Jersey. So we're almost to the secret shelter. I'll share what I can when I get there. All right, everybody, this is our turnoff. AT continues straight ahead. We're gonna take this .2 Blue Blaze. So everybody, I made it to the secret shelter. And the coolest part about this shelter is it comes with its own donkey, Jake. Jake's a little startled right now because I dropped my phone earlier and it spooked him. But I hope he'll come back to the shelter. Jake's pretty cool. So Jake is the resident donkey at the secret shelter. He's very demanding in terms of payment for his service. He requires brushes, food, scratches, and that's pretty much it. He's totally my favorite caretaker.